from Los Angeles. We're so happy to be back in the studio. As all of you know, we've been going through some wildfires in Los Angeles. So all of us from the Discovery Pod with Eves, we're sending you our prayers and we hope you stay safe. I am so glad to be joined today by my co-host, Mandy Fason. She's an actress. She's a costume designer. She's a single mother. She's a dancer. She does it all. I've hosted quite a few episodes with Mandy. So Mandy, welcome back. It's good to have you back.
Good to be back. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Of course. So I am so excited about today's episode. This episode that we're hosting together. As you know, we just talked about the award season, and what better way to do it but having someone who's done her own makeup company. So I am looking forward to this conversation.
Well, I mean, we love a good look and we like good tips. So I hope to walk away with a few today.
Yes.
As well.
So Mandy, before we do the intro, is there anything that you're working on that you would love the audience to know about that you'd love to?
You know, by the time this episode airs, possibly, but the project I just came off of is in post-production, so there's not really anything to put out there just yet. Finding Familia is a story based in Italy. We shot in Italy. It's going to be an absolutely stunning film, so you'll have to have me back.
Of course, we'll have to have you back. I think by then the season ends. Like, so I can put on the season 3 and have you back. Obviously, I want to take some time away from the podcast.
Have some other fun.
We can get it very busy, and Roger knows that. He's knocking on my door every day, calling me. But I am so excited about today. Again, all about the award season and all of the tips and all of that. So please go ahead and introduce
Absolutely.
our guest.
So today we're joined by the extraordinary Christina Flach. She's a force in the beauty industry who has not only revolutionized the way we perceive makeup artistry, but also redefined the meaning of beauty itself. From launching her career in 1995 to founding Pretty Girl Makeup, Christina worked with some of the most recognizable names in television, fashion, and entertainment, blending creativity, technical skill, and an unwavering passion for empowering her clients. Her work isn't just about creating stunning looks, it's about enhancing confidence and helping others feel like they are the best version of themselves, both inside and out. Beyond the brushes and palettes, Christina is a dedicated philanthropist, a regular beauty expert on NBC's California Live, and a sought-after podcast guest who shares her wisdom and grace with authenticity. As we step into the new year and award season unfolds, we'll dive into Christina's expertise in styling some of the industry's elite and explore the trends shaping the red carpet beauties and uncover secrets behind her remarkable career. Let's welcome the incomparable Christina Flach to the podcast.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me today. You're so nice.
It's so good to have you. So obviously we
Thank you
just
so much.
talked about award season. So with the red carpet season in full swing, what beauty trends are you predicting to see on the red carpets this season?
I'm expecting to see a lot of flawless skin, big bright eyes, bold lips, and I think that people are going to surprise us with minimal amounts as well. I mean, I think it's going to be all over the place of minimal and big full glam. So I'm excited about all of it.
So, Christina, your career has spanned over the 2 decades with the beauty industry evolving since you started, and trends, of course. What changes do you find most exciting in the industry?
I think a lot that I like to focus on is beauty from the inside out. And I think people are taking a lot more care of their nutrition, their skin, exercise, being a lot more mindful with just their life, meditation, getting more rest. I think people are just taking overall better care of themselves, which makes them look and feel better. And so when they're in front of the camera, you can just tell when someone's healthy and happy.
Wow. I like that. That's amazing. So what inspired you to create Pretty Girl Makeup, and how has running your own line shaped your perspective on the beauty business?
Well, I started Pretty Girl because I was away with some friends and my kids, and we were at the pool in Hawaii, and they were finally at that age where they could all swim. And my friend Claudia, was a German model, she said, "Honey, look at, we're all like pretty girls here. No one knows we're mommies." And I just started laughing. I thought that was the funniest thing I ever heard. And I just said, "That's the perfect name for a makeup company, Pretty Girl." So I called my attorney and we trademarked it and went from there. And I'm actually starting a new line now called I'm Too Busy.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be skincare and makeup. And I have a new TV show that I'm hosting called I'm Too Busy. So I interview like friends and clients that I have and people that I know in the industry, because everyone is too busy and everyone has a great story. And so it's just fun to chat with them about how they keep balance in their life and how the road that they've taken to get to where they are now.
Well, tell us a little bit more about your new show. Where is it going to be on? On what is it going to be on?
It's on YouTube and like 14 different platforms. So we're all over the place, and we've done about 15 shows, and it's been a lot of fun. We have a lot of really cool guests coming up, and just it's all over this. We talk about people in the wellness and fashion and beauty, all different things. People that are on TV, and so it's just a bunch of different people that all have interesting stories. And then with the new line, I'm Too Busy, I have been hearing forever, and I'm sure you guys are the same, that people say, "Oh my gosh, I go to the store, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to buy, I get talked into buying all this stuff and I don't know how to use it, and it just sits in my drawer." And so I don't see how you're going to get brand loyalty if you're selling people things that they don't know how to use or they're not appropriate for their lifestyle. And I want to keep it simple, just what you need: something for your brows, eyes, lashes, cheeks, and lips. And then for the skincare, people spend so much money on all these amazing skincare regimes that have multiple steps, and people will do it for a couple of days and then they're like, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. So I formulated a 3-step process with the skincare that I hope people can just get into using consistently. And that's the big thing with skincare, as you both know: consistency. Consistency with exercise, with diet, and with skincare are important if you want your skin to look its best. And so the 3-step process, the first step is a reverse cleansing. So think about it. Do you guys drink the water that you splash on your face from the tap without a filter?
No.
But yet we put it on our face.
Wow.
And so what we've started doing is doing this reverse cleansing. So what that means is we put on the moisturizer and the cleanser first, and then rinse the face, because there's a protective barrier that will protect the skin from the harm that's in our water, that's got chemicals and minerals and all kinds of things that are not fantastic for our skin, that cause fine lines and drying out your skin. Don't you notice sometimes if you splash your face with water, it's tight and dry? Mm-hmm. Well, that's because of all the stuff that's in the water. So I really just want people to look and feel their best so they can go out and be the best versions of themselves, whether it be in the boardroom or in front of the camera. So that's how we've come up with that.
I love that. And it all goes hand in hand with self-love, not being too busy to take those few steps for yourself, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, you've obviously worked with so many people and so many incredible brands. Are there any collaborations or campaigns that stand out as most memorable, or someone particular that you've had the most fun working with that you can share a little bit?
Of course. I have a new client right now, Zach Posen. He's an amazing fashion designer, but he's now head of creative of Gap. And so I just started working with him about 6 months ago. We've done Vogue and a bunch of different, it's been pretty remarkable. And he is the nicest, sweetest. And of course, Tyler Florence, he's a celebrity chef I've had for years.
I love his restaurant in the San Francisco.
Oh, yes.
Tavern, what's the name of it? I can't.
Wayfair
Tavern. Nice. I love his fried chicken.
Oh, that fried chicken is the Thai flow chicken. It's amazing. He has a new one called Miller and Lux that's amazing. So last year we did oh my gosh, we did his show, the Great Food Truck Race, and then we did a Visa commercial, and then a Dish commercial, and he was in Architectural Digest and Banana Republic. So we've done a ton of things. I was at the Super Bowl last year for a week, and that was fun, doing press with SpongeBob and all the Nickelodeon team. Let's see what else. I've just been doing a lot of, I worked with Cameron Brink, who was the #2 WNBA pick from Stanford.
Amazing.
I've done some commercials with her and worked with Rita Moreno and Hilary Swank
I
and
saw that.
Gucci and Louis Vuitton. I've been really blessed with my career and working with all these extraordinary people that are so lovely and so much fun.
So obviously, just to piggyback on that question, it's award season, which I talked about earlier. You may not want to be, you may not share, but anyone that you're going to be styling that you would like us to know?
Oh, I can't,
Oh yeah.
I don't, I'm not allowed to
NDAs,
say
you
right
can't talk
now.
about it. Okay.
Okay.
I can talk about it after.
Well,
Okay.
yes. Well, we'll look forward to that conversation. So, well, then if someone is wanting to enhance their look or possibly just some simple tips or products that you could recommend for some of us to start with if we want to, well, I'm a more mature aged woman, so of course, maybe
please.
I'm doing too much. What are a few tips you could share that would make it easy?
Yes. Okay. So the first thing is protecting your skin. So a vitamin C serum, obviously cleansing the face, vitamin C serum, eye cream, sunscreen is imperative you use every day, 365 days of the year. It's like brushing your teeth. You have to do it. And keeping under the eyes moisturized, hydrated with eye cream before you put concealer. Concealer is the greatest thing ever. It hides everything, but you just want to make sure that you're not using a drying matte concealer. It really needs to be something that it has a lot of moisture in to hide the fine lines and wrinkles. So doing that, filling in the brows is super important. Keeping your brows clean. I recommend getting your brows professionally waxed and filling them in. It really gives a more polished look. And then with the eyes, you can have, I like to do a liner top and bottom, but I like to keep the middle part of the eye light. Wow. So the eyes pop. Mm-hmm. So they're, because if you put too much dark on the eyes, they're going to shrink, and we want them to be big and beautiful. And then the cheeks, just a little bit of blush or bronzer, and the lips, some lip liner, lipstick, and gloss. And I like to keep it simple, but clean and polished.
I think the moisturizer with the under the eyes is something
huge.
I have to pay more
and
attention to.
I do a couple of layers of concealer. So I'll put some on, and then I'll work on the face of the eyes, and then I'll do another layer or two. You want thin coats of concealer and foundation. And foundation, here's a trick. People ask all the time, how do I select the correct foundation? And it's super easy. You don't want it too dark, and you don't want it too light. You want it to disappear into your skin, and that is the correct color for you. And always when you do, when you're trying on different foundations, have the light from outside light hitting your face, because it's really hard to tell if you go into a department store with the lighting. So it's really important that you select the right foundation. And I would probably recommend one that is not matte. I like to keep the skin fresh and dewy. And so the best way to do that is with a foundation that is hydrating.
That makes sense. I try extra going to events, knowing it's red carpet opportunities, and I'll wear makeup and look older. So I'm doing the opposite. So the matte is probably adding more lines and aging me under the lights.
Yeah, and it's just you just want your skin to look fresh and dewy. And I think that's part of the look that I create for my clients. It's just making sure that their skin is really prepped well and hydrated. And of course, and when I speak about beauty from the inside out, I can't urge you enough, drink water. You can't drink enough water. Every time you get in the car, grab a bottle of water. And I like to prep it. We did a segment on NBC about getting people to drink more water. I get, water bottles, of course, or I get, with the kids, you can get mason jars, fill them up with filtered water, throw in some blueberries, orange slices, or some tea, and grab it and go. And
I love that idea.
Yeah, great
right?
advice.
Because you'll grab, your kids will grab it if it's ready in there.
Yeah.
But if they're like, throw a peach in or some orange. It tastes good, and it's a really good health habit. I also believe first thing in the morning, water, a glass of water with lemon or Bragg's apple cider vinegar, a splash of it. I'm a big green juice girl.
Oh,
I don't, are you
yes.
guys?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
and I have my water first
I
thing in the
do.
morning.
Yeah, like water every morning. Yep.
Good. That's a great habit. And then the green juice, just throw it in the blender. I get
Yeah.
power greens, celery, broccoli, beet, blueberry, ginger,
Spinach,
um,
kale.
spinach, kale, coconut water, and I'll throw in a little grapefruit juice. And I'll make enough, again, using the mason jar. So I have it for, a couple of days. So when I get hungry, I'll just pound some of the juice, some raw almonds, hard-boiled eggs. I really try to have like protein first thing in the morning to keep my energy good and just keep my weight at a steady place, because I can't be going on shows like this, talking about beauty and wellness if I'm a disheveled mess and not looking. I mean, no one's going to buy it.
Practice what you
You
preach.
look amazing.
You do
So
look amazing.
you're known for your ability to enhance natural beauty. What is your approach to creating a look that feels authentic yet glamorous?
I think it's super important with my clients that I listen to them, what they're comfortable with, because people are so attached to their look. They're so accustomed to how they look in front of the camera with the makeup, the way they're used to it. So I will suggest something like, okay, tell me what you're comfortable with. Because if I do something too extremely different than what they're used to, they're going to be distracted when they get in front of the camera, and they're not going to be comfortable. And I always want my clients to feel the best, because, a confident person is always going to photograph better. Yeah. When they feel good about themselves and they're happy. And that's part of my job as a makeup artist. I have 3 agents, and I still, have my clients besides running my company and doing my shows. And I really make an effort to listen to them and how they're feeling and what they want. And sometimes they want to talk and tell me everything that's going on in their world. And sometimes they just want silence. So I have to figure out in literally 3 seconds, whether they want to talk or quiet. And I just have to be really respectful of that, so that when they get in front of the camera, they're happy, they feel confident, and they love how they look.
So how do you go about adapting your approach with all of your clients are so many from such a variety of backgrounds? So how would you assess when you're, for instance, with a celebrity versus someone that's not so much in the public eye, and just the personalities? What is your process in assessing that on how you will apply your technique and what your end goal is with that person?
I really just kind of sense how they feel. I'm pretty intuitive. I'm a mother of 5, so I can read people pretty well. I also start out with, my clients, they are also spoiled. Zach and Tyler, all my clients, they love hand massage with aromatherapy.
Oh.
So they're pretty much like, as soon as I do that, that kind of connects people. Like it feels good, it relaxes them, and it just takes away any tension that they're having.
Trust.
And and then that just starts, that's how I start the thing. I'm like, oh, give me your hand and put some lotion on and some aromatherapy, some lavender oil, and just get them to breathe. Sometimes I'll get them a cup of tea or some water. I just kind of make them feel that I am 100% there to tend to them and make them feel great for whatever they need while we're on set.
That's incredible. So how do you balance being an artist, running your businesses and expert in the public eye while staying true to yourself?
It's a lot of, I'm very disciplined with my time. I really try to wake up. I wake up at about 6 every morning, and I take that time for me to wake up with the water, the green juice, my eggs. I'll sit on a beamer, a biometric mat. So by the time I get to work, if I'm going on set, I feel like awake and I feel good, because I can't just roll out of bed and go on set. It just doesn't work that way. I don't have a job like that. I have to go looking somewhat put together and, being awake. So I don't feel that self-care is selfish. I think it's actually the most generous thing that we can do for everybody else, because if I've had the time to go work out, make sure I've had my food and I'm rested, I am going to be able to give 2000% to my clients. So it's a lot of, it's a balancing act, but it's so much easier now because my kids are older and I don't have them at home. You know, they're graduated from college and they have their lives, and my youngest is, you know, going to college. So
Wow.
I have so much more time than I ever had. So it's so much easier now. Like,
That's
it's,
incredible. So with your new
yeah,
show, is it, do you tape once a week, or how often are you taping?
once or twice a week, just depends.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. We air Wednesdays and Fridays. So
On
I have a
YouTube.
bunch of, yes, and YouTube. We're doing really well on Spotify. It's doing really well on Spotify. So it's on all different things. And if you go to Christina, oh no, it's I'm Too Busy TV. All the episodes are there with, a blog and a link to listen or watch.
Amazing.
I want to know more about your creative process because obviously we're into the new year. The holidays just passed, but holidays are a big time for trends and looks. And then with your shows and you have like this wheelhouse of things. Do you mood board? Do you have like a journal? Do you see things that inspire you? Where do you draw your inspiration from for all of these creative entrepreneur projects that you have going?
That's a great question. I think everything. I write down. I take a lot of photographs. I keep like an inspiration folder on my phone. I write things down, and I'm very visual. So I just love beautiful things. Like I like my house to be clean and tidy. I like having flowers and candles, and because I think it's super important. If I'm home working in my office, I always have a candle lit, and I have like classical music playing, just so the vibe is pleasant. So I don't feel like I think you can make it doesn't matter how big or small your home is, but make it cozy, make it smell nice, and have fresh air, have music playing, and then you want to be there. So, if you're working a lot of hours, you don't mind. It's a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you often appear as a guest expert. What's the most common beauty misconception you encounter during your appearances?
Oh my gosh. Okay. People don't change their mascara very often. It's not a wine. It's going to dry out in 2 to 3 months. That needs to be changed. People use the wrong foundation, the wrong color. They don't know. My biggest one is the black eyeliner on really pale white skin.
Yeah.
Thick black eyeliner in the liquid liner in the middle of the day it's just my whole thing with makeup. I don't want to go, oh wow, liquid liner, blue, yellow, green. You got, okay. I don't want to see, all I want to see is just a pretty face and go, wow, skin looks healthy. They look pretty. And so I just try to, teach people and inspire people to try something different. We did a beauty dare challenge on California Live, and it was, if you wear a ton of makeup, take it down 5 notches. If you wear very little or none, take it up 5 notches.
Wow.
And see how you feel. And it's so funny how people are so emotionally attached to their makeup look.
That's incredible.
And some people felt like so bare and naked and exposed, the ones that wore a ton, and then the ones that didn't wear anything were like, oh wow, look way better without some more makeup on. So
wow.
It was really interesting to see how people looked, but it was also interesting to hear how they felt.
The one thing that people usually say to me, and I don't do this, but I always have friends who tell me, but you could use the same lash like over and over and over. I don't like using my lashes. I like to use it once, and I just don't, because I don't do the what do you call it, the lashes that you go get, because my lashes were like fell off.
Oh, the extensions.
The extensions. So what's that? Is that the myth in terms of using the same lash over? And is that, I don't think it's a good habit, me personally.
I don't either. And also, people don't wash their makeup brushes. It's shocking to me. I mean, I wash my makeup brushes, obviously, when I'm on set. In between each client, I disinfect. And then when I come home, we do a deep clean. And so it's really, really important you have to treat your makeup brushes with a lot of care. They need to be cleaned once a week, especially the ones that you use for concealer and foundation. And for your eyes. I would say the best way to do that would be getting some makeup wipes to just get off the excess, makeup and color. And then you want to soak them in shampoo, conditioner with warm water, and then get rid of it. Or here's some other options. You can use olive oil and vinegar because that hydrates and it gets all the yuck off and it disinfects the vinegar. You can use soap and water, but it's really important to, and then, wipe off the excess and let them dry. But you want to treat your makeup brushes well. They're going to look better. Also, here's a big one. You know how you have a light eyeshadow, like a really light one that you put on your eyes? Only designate a makeup brush for that light color, because you're never going to get the true pigment if you're mixing it with like a brown or a gray or something. So that's super important to kind of keep them separate. And I think, knowing what colors are good for you. I really try to go with like, neutral colors that aren't going to stick out. But then obviously it's super fun, like when you're playing and you want to do something fun, to be, bold colors and go all out. I mean, it should be a fun thing. And I think if people take the time to update their look, I've been doing these makeup consultations lately, and it's so interesting. I had two very extreme clients last week. I had one woman come for a consultation. I said, I always tell them, bring all your skincare, your makeup, and your makeup brushes. I want to see what you have and see what you need. And it was so funny. This one woman came in with a Ziploc with a lip balm and some cream and some soap. Like that was it. She had no makeup at all.
Wow.
And now, so we just went over the whole thing. I taught her how to do a day look, an evening look. And then we went shopping and got her all new makeup and makeup brushes. And now she's like a kid in a candy store. And then I had another client that I went to her house, and she had, I think, more makeup than I have. And I have literally everything, right, for my makeup kit. And I'm like, so what we did was we got, makeup bags for her, one for travel, one for the gym, one for her bathroom, and then one for her handbag. And she was so, like, we divided it all. We organized it, put the makeup brushes on your counter in a glass, or a little jar that's pretty. And the same with your lip liners, your eyeliners, just kind of keep it organized. You can go to the dollar store even. And I mean, they're great for organizing little plastic containers to put them in drawers. So I think if you can keep your makeup organized, that is really helpful. And then get rid of the stuff that you're not using. All that gift with purchase stuff that we think we want, that we never use, give it to someone who will use it.
So, good question. A follow-up to that question. What do you advise women when it comes to how long should one keep, like, lipstick? Should you have it for 6 months before tossing it, or 1 year? What's the shelf life for makeup?
I think, a year to 2 years, but like mascara, again, every 2 to 3 months, get a new one. You don't have to get the most expensive. Go to a CVS, go to Target, just get one that's fresh, because that is how eye infections occur.
Wow.
And you do not want one of those. And obviously don't share your eye makeup with anybody. It's just it's a problem that's just going to be a nightmare if you have a bad infection. And I've seen them.
We should have had a bingo card for these questions. I feel like I scored pretty well on most of the things you suggested, but I was fortunate. My mother always encouraged moisturizing and skincare and sunscreen. And
that's very good, because a lot of people, really didn't protect their skin. And, it's so different now, like with my daughters, I have a 31-year-old and a 29-year-old. And, since they were really young, they know about sunscreen and hats and glasses to protect your skin and keeping hydrated and, all the good things to make yourself look and feel good. And so I think it's very different from how my mom taught me than, how my kids are.
And the misconception that people always think is, because you have dark skin, you shouldn't use sunscreen. Everyone should use sunscreen.
Right.
Everyone. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I have dark skin. I have my kids, same dad. They're all different shades of the rainbow. I have some, like my daughter, Melania, is so white and pale. And then my son, Nikolai, is darker than I am. So
wow,
it doesn't matter what color your skin is, what shade, protect it.
So Christina, you're a mother of 5.
I am.
Wow, you
when
look
did-
incredible.
You do look
You
incredible.
look fantastic.
Oh my God. Well, I hired myself, so thank you.
I'm curious to know when your journey began. Who influenced you to become a makeup artist, and your trajectory? Were you before becoming a mother, or is this something later in life? I just want to know who was the bigger influence, and if they're still along for the journey with you.
I think I started being I worked on my mom. My mom, when I was really young, got brain cancer, and she was incredibly beautiful, but her hair fell out from the chemo and the radiation. And she was going out with my dad one night, and I just said, "Oh, Mom, let me do your hair, your makeup,
Aw.
and see, let me just see." I had no idea what I was doing, and she didn't
Oh.
have that much makeup, but I do remember that she totally lit up. She looked so much better. She looked like her old self, and it made her feel good. And so that is something that I love of my job, making people look like the best versions of themselves. It's always fun. And I worked on my cousins and my friends doing proms and weddings. And then, some photographers saw my work, and they, hired me to do something. And then I got enough images that I got my first agent. I got signed with Ford, New
Wow.
York, LA, San Francisco, Chicago. And I'm with Zenobia now, and I'm actually back with Ford, and I'm with Brandy Moore in San Francisco. So I'm very blessed to have these agents that, get me these incredible clients that I get to work with. It's so much fun. And for a while, when I started my company, I thought I didn't want to be a makeup artist anymore. I thought I wanted to just, be a CEO. And then I'm like, oh my God, this is so boring. And I just miss that connection with
Yeah.
people. I love to travel. I like to be in new places. I'm kind of a gypsy. I like, different. I want something different every day. My sister has a normal job. And I don't. So I don't know, she knows when she's going to work, when she's done, when she's going on vacation. I don't know any of that. I go
Yeah.
on vacation when I have nothing going on.
Yeah.
And so, but it works for me, and it was great being a mother, having this job, because I wanted to be able to help in the classroom and drive on field trips. And, so I could kind of control my schedule, working out of my home, running my business. So, they were the most important thing, my kids. And
Yeah.
so, it's been a great career for me. And as time's gone on, it's expanded. I never expected to be on NBC as a beauty expert, or speaking on podcasts, or, having my own show. That was never even a thought. And so, but one thing that I've learned in the last few years is just being open and to things, like getting comfortable being uncomfortable, was something that I learned in the last few years. When my friend Berlin Fisher, who was the host on California Live, asked me to come take his spot as the beauty expert. And I'm like, are you crazy? No. And he's like, girl, this is all you know. You don't even have to think. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that really changed my life, because normally I would say, oh no, I'm a makeup artist, I don't do that. Now I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'll do that.
That's fantastic. I think sharing your story about your mother, about how it made her feel when she was, sick, that's an incredible story. Thank you for sharing. So, looking at all of the folks that you've styled, if you could style anyone dead or alive, like if you had a wish list, who would it be, even if it's someone who's dead?
Oh my gosh, there's so many faces. How about Marilyn Monroe? That would be a
Ooh.
doozy. I would love to do Scarlett Johansson. Oh my gosh. And I also love painting faces of people, like, civilians that have never worn any makeup, and totally transforming them. I love that too. So they don't always have to be famous. I just like having a face that I can transform.
So would you go with a more classic look, or would you do something more in the wheelhouse of today's trend with the makeup? If you were, for instance, if you had
Like Audrey
Marilyn in your
Hepburn,
chair.
she's another one I'd love to have painted her face.
Yes.
I think I would probably stick with what I do, and that's just making them look fresh and light and just pretty. I wouldn't make it too crazy, but sometimes I have this photographer, Tanner Abel, that I work. He's my glam son in New York, and he went to Parsons with my daughter. And he's this incredible photographer. And I love going to New York with all of my colors and just going wild. And we've done some amazing shoots. I think on the front page, we worked with this beautiful Russian model. And it's the first page of ChristinaFlach.com. And I love that picture. And sometimes I work with another photographer, Richard Sue in San Francisco, that we've done stuff with. Like I created like a flower crown. And that's probably been that photograph's probably been in more magazines. And it was just a test that we did. We weren't even doing it for anything, just
Wow.
our own joy. So I still love to, we call it testing. I'll work with a photographer, a stylist, a model, and then we'll just get to do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Because I need that creative outlet. I need that. It feeds me.
Mm-hmm.
I love having that opportunity to just express myself creatively and kind of go crazy with color and have fun.
So
because I get told when I'm working with Bloomberg or Fox or, NBC or Gucci or Louis Vuitton, it's so specific.
Mm-hmm.
Gucci, Louis Vuitton, it's minimal. It's both. The model has to look like she has no makeup on at all, because the focus has to be on the clothes, not on what I do.
Yeah.
So when I get the opportunity to express myself artistically, it's heaven.
I love that for you. You're very passionate about it. I can see
Yes.
it.
So the holidays just passed. How do you spend your time? When you're not working, what do you like to do for fun?
I love to work out. So I go to Pilates, I go to yoga, I have a gym in my house. I like to hike. My kids are golfers. They're in college playing golf. So I love to go walk around the golf course watching them. I walk my dog. I love to entertain. I love to cook. I like to garden. I like to ride horses.
Ooh, wonderful.
Yeah, I love to see my friends and my family. It means a lot to me. And I like to go to the spa. I love to go get a massage, get my nails done.
Yountville. I love going up to Yountville. They've got such amazing, such amazing spas in Yountville. I think it's a great place.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It is great. Yeah, I'm really lucky where I live in San Francisco. I love to go out to, beautiful dinners, and it doesn't need to be the most glam place. I like good food and a hole in a wall. So that's fun to explore. Movies. I read a lot. I'm a total nerd. I'm always reading my book, watching Netflix and stuff. A lot of good things.
It sounds like you have found a way to keep your life a good check and balance between your professional life and your personal life. That's so important.
Yes.
Yes. I would love to know if a young person, for instance, is interested in pursuing a career in makeup artistry, because you're such a fabulous boss babe. What type of mentorship type advice would you offer someone trying to break in?
That's a really good question. And I get asked that a lot. I think it's really important. You have to get a makeup kit together that is just for your clients. You do not ever touch it. I've seen people show up with their makeup bag and, it's the biggest no-no. You have to figure out, I would also work for another makeup artist and see if, you can shadow and see if you really like it. It seems like it's all fun and glamorous and games, but for example, I had to be at Zach's house at 7 a.m. to shoot for Vogue, which means I woke up at 5, to just be awake and ready. So you have to be able to, wake up early. There's early call times. It's long days. It's, you're on your feet all day. Sometimes you're inside, sometimes you're outside, sometimes it's cold. You travel a lot. You also have to know that as a makeup artist, you're not going to work every day. Sometimes you do, but not all the time. So you have to be okay with your income having something else that you do. I'm really blessed because I have, my makeup company. So I have other forms of income. So because most times, if my agents book something, I don't get paid for 30 to 90 days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not for everybody. You know, you have to figure it out, and you have to really love it. And I think that's what I urge, like, my kids and anyone else, and whatever you're going into, love it so much that you would do it for free and then figure out how to get paid.
Wow, that's
Excellent.
great. So we are down to the last few minutes. If you were to have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why?
You two.
Oh, I'm so honored.
Oh, that's incredible. There's got to be one person out there that...
I would love to have dinner with you two.
Well, we
Awesome.
can make that happen.
When next are you in LA? Let's have dinner.
I will definitely do that. I'm going to come next time I'm down there. I go down there a lot for work, so I would definitely.
I'm
You know, I
definitely
think,
looking forward to that.
Awesome. That would be great. Looking forward to it. No, Christina, this has been incredible. Just having
Oh
the
my
time
God,
to
thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much. And thank you for reaching out when your assistant, Maya, reached out that you wanted to be on the podcast. That was really an honor. So thank you, sharing your journey.
God. Well, thank you. I'd like to have you guys on my show.
That would be amazing.
Thank you
and
so much.
I'm gonna go check it out. Seriously, let's plug it again. Just so people have
I'm Too Busy TV. I'm Too Busy TV, ChristinaFlach.com and PrettyGirlMakeup.com.
And Mandy, this has been, I mean, what an inspirational, I mean, she's just fantastic.
I just love that your daughter inspired the name Pretty Girl
Yes.
for Pretty Girl Makeup.
It's incredible.
And I think you have the best hashtags on social media with Pretty Girl
Well, thank you
and
so
I'm Too
much.
Busy. That's just really
I mean,
great
and her story,
Everybody's too busy, right?
So
Men,
true.
women, everyone. So
for everything.
it's an amazing story. And how she styled her mother when her mom was sick. What a beautiful story, right? Christina, thank you so much for being here with us. I'm looking forward to watching your show. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you watch this episode with Christina on the Discovery Pod with Eve's YouTube channel, or you can listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. Roger Neal, thank you. I hope you're feeling better. Tony Sweet, thank you so much. I mean, incredible. And Christina, you're actually our last guest of the season. We have one more, but that's me.
Honored.
So thank you. It's been so nice meeting you. Looking forward to you having lunch, dinner with you, coffee, whatever. And I'm we're gonna check out our award season to see who she styles. So Christine, please, we'll be in touch, and we're looking forward to having lunch or dinner with you. So good having you.
I can't wait. Thank you. Love you both.
Love
Bye.
you.
Love
Stay
you
well.
very much. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.